There are other ways that we can solve equations using our graphing calculator other than using the table mode. Below we have a quadratic equation that is set equal to 0. We need to find the solutions. Remember, solutions are the same things as the x-intercepts, as the zeros. Any way they ask it, they're asking for the same value. In order to do this, we're going to first go into our y equals again and graph our quadratic equation. So on your calculator, go back to your y equals. We can clear out our exponential equation. We're going to put 2x squared. So 2, remember the x is below the mode, and your square button is on the left-hand side in the middle. Minus 5x plus 2. Now that we have this in our equations, we need to just go and look at our graph. If you hit the top right-hand button, it should say graph. Your graph should appear. Now, your graph might not look like the one on my screen. In general, we like to go to Zoom number 6. Zoom Standard gives you a 10 by 10 grid that tells you your x-axis goes 10 to the left, 10 to the right, and your y-axis goes 10 up and 10 down. Since we're looking where this quadratic equals 0, we're looking for the x-intercepts. In order to calculate the x-intercepts on your graphing calculator, you are going to hit second and the trace button. Above trace, you will see calc in blue. We want to find our x-intercepts, which are also known as our zeros, so we'll scroll down to number 2 and hit enter. From here, you need to follow the directions on your screen. You'll notice on the bottom left it says left bound. You need to be to the left of one of your x-intercepts. I know my x-intercept is somewhere in this area, so I am to the left of it now. I will hit enter. Then it says right bound. You need to scroll to the right-hand side of that first x-intercept, but don't go past to the second one. Hit enter. Your calculator says to guess. Just scroll so you think you are close to that x-intercept and hit enter. Now it says 0. That's when you know it is actually telling you one of your x-intercepts. So this first x-intercept on the left-hand side of my graph is at 0.50. To find my second x-intercept, I will repeat that process. So we'll go to second trace for our calc, number 2 for our 0, and then I will scroll so that I'm on the left-hand side of my second x-intercept. Hit enter. Scroll so that you are on the right-hand side of the second x-intercept. Hit enter. For guess, scroll closer to that x-intercept. Hit enter. And your second x-intercept is found at 2, 0. The equation for you is 2x squared minus 3x minus 20 equals 0. See if you can use the same method to graph that equation and find your x-intercepts. Okay, you should have gone to your calculator, gone back into your y equals. You want to clear out that equation. Then we have 2x squared minus 3x minus 20. Make sure here you are using your subtraction symbol and not the negative symbol. Your calculator does look at these as two different functions. When you go to graph, even though we cannot see our entire quadratic on our graph, we can still see where the two x-intercepts are. So you want to go to second trace for your calculate, number 2 for your 0, and make sure you scroll to the left of the x-intercept. Click enter, scroll to the right, click enter, and here I have an x-intercept at negative 2.50. Now, on the ACT answers, you'll see that they have them in fractions. We know negative 2.5 is the same thing as negative 5/2. Since that is only listed once, you really don't have to find your second x-intercept, and we know here that the answer is D, negative 5/2 or 4. Realize